This is The Scoop for Friday.
I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines. Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency for 54 counties, including the entire Tampa Bay region, as a tropical wave with a high chance of strengthening into a more threatening storm was on a path that could reach Florida this weekend. This morning, meteorologists continue to monitor the storm. It's called Invest 97L. Meteorologist Megan Borowski from the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network says it's likely to bring wet weather to Florida, but beyond that, the forecast becomes uncertain.
As of this morning, though, we're looking at the potential for a tropical depression to form this weekend over the eastern Gulf, with further intensification possible next week. Steering winds are weak, and that could lead to a very slow-moving system. I say that because this, at least of this morning, will likely be a heavy rain and flood event for Florida's Gulf Coast as opposed to a wind event.
Borowski says the forecast will likely fluctuate over the next few days, and it's very important that we continue to check for updates. Double-check your emergency kits and review emergency plans. The St. Petersburg Arts Alliance held a panel discussion at the Palladium on Wednesday. WMNF's Megan Bowman reports after Governor DeSantis voted more than $30 million in state funds from this year's budget, panelists addressed the region's critical need for arts funding.
Over 800 art-centered organizations in the state were affected by the governor's vetoes, despite Florida's arts and cultural industry pumping nearly $6 billion into the economy in 2022. At a press conference in June, DeSantis blamed two organizations for the veto, the Orlando Fringe and Tampa Fringe, both of which he called sexual. Now groups are having to think outside of the box to keep cities like St. Petersburg a thriving art center. Over 100 people showed up to the town hall. Margaret Murray, CEO of Creative Pinellas, was one of the panelists.
I think we all believe this, that the arts is what has spurred a lot of St. Petersburg's growth in particular. Right now, workers can move anywhere in the world, and they're choosing to live here in St. Pete and invest in their community here.
Murray says while people and businesses are relocating to Pinellas, the most densely populated county in the state, there needs to be more education on the value that art brings to communities.
When the arts are well funded, arts organizations and artists can take risks. They can reach out to communities that they may not be able to before. They can think big and maybe bring in the case of a museum, a blockbuster exhibition that will bring in thousands of people to experience that. But when we're not funded well, we have to play it safe. We can't do the things that we're supposed to be doing, which is creating excitement and engaging our community.
Pinellas School Board Chair Laura Hine spoke from the audience about the connection between the growing arts community and the district's first time ever A rating.
I mean, we know that students who participate in art are 4 times more likely to participate in academic competitions. They're 4 times more likely to succeed in math and science competitions. Students from low-income families are 2 times more likely to go to college. There are measurable results of the impact of the arts in that sort of value.
And Hines says the many businesses moving to the area are looking for innovation.
And the seed ingredient to innovation is creativity. And that creativity comes from this arts funding.
Local leaders will hold a Pinellas delegation on September 13th in part to discuss ways to find more robust funding for the arts in the future. Megan Bowman, WMNF News in St. Petersburg.
In about 10 days, school starts for students around the Tampa Bay area, and that means you'll see the big yellow school buses more often. WMNF's Chris Young reports Hillsborough County is using new technology this year to curb illegal driving behavior around school buses.
A report from 2018 found around 11,000 drivers illegally passed stopped school buses each school day in Florida. Now, Hillsborough County Public Schools are doing something about it. The county has installed safety cameras on school buses to record and ticket motorists that illegally pass the buses while the stop arm is out. The AI-enabled cameras come from tech company Bus Patrol. Van Ayers is the superintendent of Hillsborough County Public Schools.
The focus of this program, let me be clear, is not about ticketing drivers. It's to change driver behavior and protect our students every day.
The program will begin with a 30-day warning period and education campaign to remind motorists to stop for school buses. And then on September 12th, tickets will start going out. Carlos Hernandez is a bus driver for Hillsborough Schools.
When the stop arms are open, that's when the kids are the most vulnerable because they're trying to get to the bus.
The buses were also equipped with interior cameras and panic buttons for drivers. Chris Young, WMNF News, Tampa.
I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.